the slide because time is very less. There are so many terms which are related to the open content. Now, what we are talking about the open access, you can go through the slide. The most important thing that I want to share from this slide is that it is the scalability of the content and richness of the content. You know, in Indian context, we have kind of mindset where we, you know, didn't want to share our contents or resources. But definitely, when we are going to share our content, when we are going to share our resources, it helps us to enrich, it helps us to enhance the quality of the content. Then something which we have a notion that openness is not only related to the monetary involvements, or there is not any monetary benefit, but I have cited some of the examples where openness or freeness of the content or the innovation can generate the revenue. Like you can take the example of the Google, where I have cited from 2002 2019. You can see a continuous escalation in the annual revenue of Google. Although we all know that it is a free service where we all can search the different resources from the internet through Google. So if you can imagine the last decade, 2009, it was 23.7 billion US dollars. Now in 2019, it is more than 8 times have been increased. 160.74 billion dollars.
Dr. Muzammil, we can't see your PPT. We can't see your PPT. Are you using your PPT?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It is not visible. I think you need to share it.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes.
Is it now visible, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
In the same context, when we are talking of the revenue from the first quarter 2008 to 2020, the same situation is there, that Google has got so much of revenue from the freeness and the freeness to the resources which they are having in their database. In the similar manner, when we are talking the example of Facebook, they are also having the same exponential growth in terms of the revenue that has been generated from 2009 to 2019 in the same situation as we are talking of that of the Google. In the similar manner, when we are talking of the YouTube, which is also a free platform where we can put our videos, the same situation arises that we have around 2 billion users worldwide currently on YouTube, most popular website. So similarly, the thing is that the freeness is not always necessary that it should be without any generation, without any generation of the revenue. It also generates the revenue. Then I have some kind of searched in case of the Scopus database. Like in case of the Indian context, we have total publication 23 lakhs. But when we are talking about the open content which is available through through Scopus, it is only 3,20,000. That means 13% of the content from India is in open domain. Similarly, there are some of the European countries, because I want to compare it with the other nations like that of China, Germany, and USA. Among all these different kinds of these countries which I have compared, Netherlands is the only country which is having maximum a kind of output in terms of the open access. You can also go through the table where it is mentioned that open access content is more in case of Netherlands as compared to other countries, although they have more output in terms of the total publications. In a similar manner, the thing which is very important is a Creative Commons license in case of the the open access. I will skip the definitions because time is very less. There are 4 parameters where we talk of the Creative Commons licenses. Like the first one is the attribution, where one has to cite every kind of work which is in free domain. Second is non-commercial, where definitely one has to some kind of limitation in order to make it commercial. So then no derivatives, where this is the third parameter in case of Creative Commons, where there should not be any kind of modification to the work. And the last parameter is share alike, where you can share, but in the same terms of license which has been in the original content. There are 4 licenses. One, Creative Commons attribution, where one has to cite the creator. Second, where we talk of the credit given to the author and then adaptations are possible. Then in case of the third one, where only non-commercial uses are permitted. Then the fourth one is when non-commercial along with that adaptations are possible. While as in case of the fifth one, no derivatives are possible. The sixth one is most restricted, where nothing except the sharing and using of the content is possible. Then the modern kind of public domain Creative Commons license is a Creative Commons zero license, where authors are without use of the copyright rights, they can share their contents. This is the same whereby the commercial use. Now I have cited some of the examples, like please bear me for more than 1 minute, please. Platforms where we can use the Creative Commons license, like 1.6 billion Creative Commons license has been issued till date. This is the recent data, where all kind of content can be shared in terms of images, video, music, research, educational text. I can give some examples, like the most important example is the Directory of Open Access Journals, where we can see Creative Commons license, which is attribution kind of license, and share alike. They are sharing their content. Along with that, you can check also the journal licenses of different journals which are indexed in Directory of Open Access Journals. Similarly, PLOS, Public Library of Science, is also using the same license. Then different kinds of these platforms which are also using the Creative Commons licenses. You can see wide range of options, not only from the content of research. Along with that, different other media are also can be using the Creative Commons license. At the end, one thing which I want to convey is that authors have to be aware in case of Creative Commons license. It is the 6 options which the Creative Commons license is providing. It is in the context that one has to understand which kind of content is there and which kind of license should be used, so that there can be a rights control on part of the authors, and it should not be handed over to the publishers, because we library science professionals need to think over that, and definitely it can enhance and can encourage the open access research in case of the Indian context. Thank you very much, and sorry for taking few minutes.
Okay,
thank you very much,
Dr. Zammil. We also have 2 invited talks. One is from Dr. Pooja Anand Gulati, and second is from Dr. Jay Bhatt. I really welcome Dr. Jay Bhatt. He's from the Drexel University, USA. Sir, you are very well known in India, and everyone knows you about your professional things. And we are friends at the Facebook also. So we are friends at Facebook also.
Thank you.
We have 3 more presentations, and then we'll be coming on to your invited talk. Everybody will be really very interesting to listen to you. Will it be all right?
Yeah, his talk is at 3 p.m.
Yes.
Welcome, Mr. Jay Bhatt. This is Tariq.
Oh, hello, Tariq. How are you?
Hello.
Thank you.
Good. I'm good. I'm good to see you. I'm immensely pleased to wake you up around. It must be, I think, 3 a.m. or 4 a.m.
4 a.m. Yes.
4:30
a.m. Yes.
So that's pretty bad for you, but we are extremely thankful to you.
That's fine. Yeah.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. This is wonderful. I'm really humbled to be here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And I'm very happy to see everybody here, and the initiative on open access should be a very, very important one for India and for scholars all over the world. So this is a very important topic, and we should continue on this in times to come.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we'll continue with the paper presentation. The second paper is library services during COVID-19 environment. The authors are Dr. Manish Kumar and Mr. Sandeep Sharma. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I just upload my PPT. Sir. So my PPT is visible or not?
Yes, sir.
Visible.
Visible. Thank you, sir. I am presenting a paper on library services during COVID-19 environment and experience of Dr. Zakir Hussain Library, Jamia Millia Islamia, the host university of this conference. I am writing this paper along with Dr. Manish Kumar, who is the assistant professor and my research supervisor in the Department of Library Information Science, University of Delhi. I take you through the background of this study. As you know, as all of you know that libraries or the academic institution have been closed since March because of this outbreak of this COVID-19. But in our case, our library, that is Dr. Zakir Hussain Library, has been closed for physical operations since December 2019 due to certain unfortunate issues in and around universities. So for us, it's almost 9 months that we have not met our users. It was open for hardly 10 days in March. That is, to be closed for another, long period. That is, still, continuing. As the library staff were placed in other sister libraries, of the university and advised to carry out their work to the extent from their respective temporary postings only. The library leadership was facing various, challenges to serve their patrons, carry out all administrative works, and simultaneously keep the morale high of its staff to serve its stakeholders remotely in the best possible way. In light of the above description, I would like to mention that that was really great challenge. Now I take you through the objective of my study. The first objective was to know the information needs of the users in current pandemic situation. To explore and acquire maximum number of e-resources for the users. And third one is to extend the access of e-resources to the maximum number of users. To continue research support services to the faculty and research scholars, and to outreach for promotion of various library services like webinars, faculty development programs, and virtual reference services. There were certain challenges, faced by the library staff during this pandemic. The first challenge was, as you know, there was complete restriction of physical access to library staff to the library. And the second challenge was, to put all subscribed online resources on remote access. There are certain databases or the resources which are available within campus, but when we talk about giving the remote access facility, they are reluctant. Some of them are reluctant to, provide it to the off campus. So we need to negotiate. We need to, ask them to, extend that service to off campus, and to impart online training to new learners for fair use, ethics, and license terms. In our cases, in our case, basically the research scholars are are using the electronic resources constantly, but as far as our UG students are concerned, they are not that much serious. So we need to make sure whether they are using online resources through the fair use policy only, and to provide management reports from their respective places, homes, to satisfy user queries and needs in form of books, journals, and other specific information needs. Simultaneously, we need to train and motivate library staff and users to use communication media like email, WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook, Google Meet, Google Classroom, and Zoom, etc. They are quite familiar with these technologies. When we talk about the formal use of these, then they sometimes struggle. And the last one is to implement new library management software for all libraries of the universities. So these were some of the challenges faced by library staff. Now certainly there were some challenges faced by our library users. Again, the same one, that they could not access the library physically, and most of the UG and PG students are not registered with remote access facility. Since we started this facility especially for the research scholar and faculty members, but now in this situation, we need to extend all the remote access facility to all the users. So that was a big challenge, and majority of the UG students found unaware to e-resources. they do search resources, but they are not aware about the authenticity or reliability of those resources. So, to train them, that was really a great challenge before us. And no access to learning resources in print form, again, that is connected with the physical access. And last one is to find out and learn about new authentic learning resources and their access tools. So now I would talk about some services rendered by the library to reach out to its stakeholders during this pandemic. The first one is to accessibility of all resources through remote access. As I told you earlier, there were resources we have been subscribing e-resources, but to make them available through a single platform, that was a big challenge. So Dr. Zakir Hussain Library subscribes and extends access to substantial number of resources in forms of e-journals, full text databases, bibliographical citation databases, financial databases, review databases. At this crucial time, no library could afford to limit their e-resources within the boundary walls. So as Dr. Zakir Hussain Library, we have ensured all the subscribed e-content should be taken into remote access platform without any delay. Hence, those resources which were limited to the IP range of the university have been linked to the remote access service of the library. The library have been using, AG proxy remote access tools for providing e-resources to its users of campus. And then the next one is the outreach to students for awareness on remote access facility. Once we put all the resources on remote platform, it's okay, but our real work starts after that, how we can, augment the usage of those resources. For that, the library has tried to reach out to the last student of the university to extend benefit of e-resources to all its bona fide users. Library has promoted its remote access facility through different platforms, which email, university Facebook page, YouTube, WhatsApp, and library web page. And we made some changes in library website or the university website, that we put the link of remote access on the home page of the university, so that the user don't need to go deep into the website to find out the link, the remote access link. Library has registered around 1,500 number of new users to its remote access facility during COVID-19 closure period. The next one is emphasis on perpetual model of e-resources. A balance is required among e-resources in form of its content. The electronic databases containing high impact factor e-journals do serve needs of faculty members and research scholars, whereas the textbook in e-format, especially the e-books, are essential and preferred by UG students to fulfill their academic needs. Moreover, in budgetary point of view, a sustainable model is required for a long-term solution in terms of continued access. Hence, library has spent its funds judiciously, both in terms of contents and access model. Library in its effort to strengthen the perpetual access to e-books has subscribed around 3,000 e-books in financial year 2019 and 20. We also extended, fulfilled some virtual reference services. Library users have continuously been approaching for the reference queries, like the queries have of different nature of different users. Example, UG students generally ask to know about access to e-books. Similarly, research scholars have questions about literature search, bibliography, anti-plagiarism, reference management tools, academic ethics, South Ganga, and so on. Faculty members have been interested in learning management tools, like access to e-resources, inquiries related to social media for academic activities, and virtual classroom. Library has been engaged in fulfilling the information needs through different platforms like mobile, email, YouTube, Facebook, Google Meet, and Zoom. We are part of, the library was part of the online faculty development program organized by Jamia. So Jamia Millia Islamia has realized very early about the prolonged period of lockdown in the country. To meet this challenge, JMI had initiated to conduct an online faculty development program for its teachers. This FDB had various components of teaching and learning besides library and information resources. University librarian was among the few selected experts to deliver and enlighten the faculty members about the availability and access to various online information resources. Library demonstrated its subscribed resources as well as open access e-resources, which have been proved very helpful for teachers as well as to students. The program received overwhelming response and needed to be conducted twice with emphasis on libraries' learning resources. University administration and academic fraternity have very kindly appraised the efforts of the library to reach out to its stakeholders unconditionally during this challenging time. Another effort was the webinar organized by Dr. Zakir Hussain Library. As part of library's efforts to conduct information literacy program, the library had organized a webinar on academic publishing and enhancing research effectiveness in collaboration with Turnitin, Springer Nature, and Elsevier. The webinar was designed for the research scholar and faculty members of Jamia and for scholars outside Jamia also. The webinar was conducted through Google Meet and YouTube live platform. The webinar met its objective as providing the participant with insight on understanding research ethics, academic integrity, concept of plagiarism, enhancing research effectiveness, and increasing the quality of research output. The webinar also covered the topics on writing styles, how to get published, and ethics, citation analysis, and reference management tools. Excuse me. The program was attended by more than 3,000 participants, and in feedback they have requested to conduct more such programs in the near future. And this is the backbone of our services, like the research support service. Library works in close association with research scholars of the university. It supports research scholars in every stage of their study, whether to choose the relevant topic or their study or research paper, preparing bibliography, literature search and review, choosing right journal pertaining to their research area, writing manuscripts, reference management or citation tools, add metrics, improving profile visibility, etc. Library organizes information literacy and orientation program on this subject and also provides hands-on training session for different online resources and subject databases. In the COVID period also, library organized some briefing and hands-on session on subject databases. Library also helped research scholars in registering themselves where prior registration is required to access the contents. Sometimes there are, multi-level of authenticity is required while, accessing databases. So in that cases, one-to-one, we have, guided our, students to access those databases. Library also extended help in anti-plagiarism services to research scholars in form of providing similarity report of their manuscript before submission, making them aware about UGC regulation on academic integrity and publishers' policy on plagiarism, copyright, and licensing issues. This is another feather to our cap, I must say, because we have acquired the new state-of-the-art digitization unit. We have established it during the COVID period only. In a significant move to promote teaching, learning, and research in an online platform, and also to promote the preservation of art, history, and culture, and a large number of it rarest of the rare manuscript and other archival document for posterity. Dr. Zakir Hussain Library of JMI has set up a highly ambitious digitization unit and has recently acquired a high-value state-of-the-art overhead scanning device. The digital preservation of these archival documents will not only provide accessibility to our national and international scholars, but will enhance the sphere of academic research. Made in France, this very high-speed scanner has a capacity to scan a page in less than a second, acquired with the financial support of National Archives of India and Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Dr. Zakir Hussain Library is first among central universities of India to have such a modern and efficient digitization unit in the country. With this unit, library proposes to do the phase-wise digitization of historical manuscripts, rare books, old serials, archival newspaper, and Arabic, Persian, Urdu, and English language. I won't speak much about accreditation and rankings since my colleague, presented well yesterday on these. But yeah, we have been, top of the town during this COVID period. We scored highest top rank in Central Universities Assessment 2020 and National Institution Ranking Framework, where we stood, in top 10 universities among central universities. And in QS World Ranking also, we performed very well. We were, at 15th rank. And now recently in September 2020, in Times Higher Education World Ranking, the university has maintained its position among the top 601 to 800 institutions of the world. There are 5 to 15 institutes in this band from India. Wherein 5 institutes of technology and 10 are universities. So this is from my side. Now, in conclusion, I would like to say that changes are inevitable and exigencies pose constant as well as opportunities to pull up your socks, to cope up with unprecedented situation and shoulder the responsibilities. The whole world has learned a lesson from COVID experience, and especially libraries transform their operation in terms of collection and services with emphasis on online and electronic resources. The present time tested the skills and efficiency of library staff who stood up against this challenge and extend their best help, support, and services to the users community to provide access to the teaching learning environment in Jamia Millia Islamia. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sandeep. You have really elaborated in a very exhaustive way the Jamia Millia University is providing a library services, and Lot of things you have mentioned. Now over to the next presenter. Status of library websites of top 4 NIRF ranked college under Delhi University. It's an evaluative study. It's written by Mr. Azizur Rahman, Dr. M. Sadiq, and Dr. Shahbaz Hussain Naqvi. Yes, to the presenter. Yes, who will be presenting this paper?
Aziz sir, Dr. Aziz will present the paper.
Okay, yes.
Aziz sir, Azizur Rahman sir. Azizur Rahman. Hello.
Yes, in the open access uptake by universities in India is the next. Azizur Rahman is ready, or shall we give it to the next presenter and then we'll take later on?
Yeah, I am ready, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone.
Kindly finish in 5 minutes because we have to meet the timeline.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, just I'm sharing. It is visible, sir. My slide is visible, sir.
Yes, it's coming up.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, sir. Thanks for giving me an opportunity, Parekh Saab and Sir Shailendra sir. Thanks. Now I'm going to present a paper. This is a status of library websites of top 4 NIRF ranked colleges under Delhi University. It is an evaluative study. Sir, this is the part of my research topic. And I am Azizur Rahman, working as officiating librarian in Zakir Hussain College, Institute of Delhi. This is my topic. This is the contents. It has introduction, review of literature, objectives of the study, scope and methodology, analysis, discussion, conclusion, and suggestions. This is the introduction part, the information communication technology and internet.
Let us skip the introduction.
Yeah.
Mention your objectives and then finding.
Okay, sir. No problem. I am coming. It is the objectives to analyze the contents of selected college library websites of Delhi University, to know the general information, resources, services offered by the college library websites, to examine the features and evaluate the quality of selected college library websites and rank them based on the content of the features. This is the scope and methodology. The scope of the study is limited to content available on the library websites of the top 4 ranked colleges placed in the NIRF rank 2020 for the colleges. I have made the checklist and it is divided into 4 parts. Accessibility of the library website, 4 points. General information, 15 points. Resources and services, and features of the library websites. Now come to the analysis and discussion. This is the table 1, and these are the NIRF rank points, and this is the establishment. This is not the important. Then come to the second table, accessibility. I have checked the accessibility of the library websites. This is the table. And only, it is very interesting, only Hindu College has the direct link on parents' homepage. Other libraries are only through the college library. There is no direct homepage on the parent page. And it is the third table, general information about library. And this is the 15 points. I have checked it. Introduction, library hours, library staff, section, new arrival, photo, video, etc. This is the general information graph of this, and this is the information about library resources and services. It is also 15 points I have taken to check it. Book bank facilities. These are the very important features, services for the college libraries. It should available on the library websites. Book bank facilities, reprographic services, section, OPAC, database, Enlist, Delnet. These are the 15 points I have taken for the study. Then I am coming to this is the graph, and it is very interesting that top ranked 4 colleges of Delhi University. However, Delhi University is very prestigious university, central university, but it very lacks in providing the information services on their websites. Then features, according to features, I have taken 5 points: link to other websites, last update, navigation, direct link, social networking sites. It is also St. Stephen's College. However, it is very prestigious college in the Delhi University, but it lacks to providing the library websites, update their websites. Now, rank of the college library websites. Now, it is the according to points I have checked it through checklist. LSRC is number 1, ranked number 1 according to the points. However, it is on rank 2 in the NIRF ranking. But Miranda House is in here, it is in 2nd position. However, it is in 1st position in the ranking of the NIRF. And St. Stephen is the last position. This is the graph of this table score. And this is the finding of the study. It was observed that none of the top 4 NIRF ranked colleges have their own separate library websites. All college libraries have their presence through web pages linked their college websites. Only Hindu College has direct link on homepage of college websites, and the remaining have links under the facilities with the library of the college website. All college libraries taken under study are accessible through the selected browser, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, and Mozilla. All the 4 college library websites have given introduction about library, and library mentioned the name of the software on their websites. Majority of the college library websites have provided the information about the different sections of the library on their website, except the information related to library collection, photo, and library website staff provided by the college. Most of the libraries lack in providing some important information such as library hours, about library membership, collection of audio, video, and infrastructure of the library on their respective websites. None of the selected college libraries have given the information about library rules, library events, new arrival of books, and etc. Most of the college libraries under study have given the information about library open on their websites. None of the college libraries under study have given the important services for colleges such as book bank facilities, question paper, newspaper clipping, interlibrary loan, doubt loan form, etc. The study found that most of the features such as direct link, social networking sites, and link to the other websites are not available in the websites of most of the college libraries. None of the colleges has features of navigation and last update. It is found that Lady Shri Ram College for Women scores the highest point, followed by Miranda House College for Women 13 scores. Hindu College third, the 4th position, and 4th position is the St. Stephen College. It is conclusion and suggestions. The study evaluates the library websites top 4 colleges of Delhi University ranked by National Institute of Ranking. This one. It is now the coming to the suggestion. College library websites should be more user-friendly, interactive, easily navigation, search facility, and updated on regular basis to provide the latest information available in the library. Present study reveals that top colleges of Delhi University fail to exhibit their effective web presence. The study will serve as an example for the further development of the college library websites. This is my reference. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now, our next presenter, it's the open access uptake by universities in India. Dr. Muhammad Nazim. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Shailendra Kumar, Dr. Tariq Ashraf.
Yes, please. Hello. Hello.
University Librarian and organization.
Actually, you are not audible. Sandeep?
So sorry for the disturbance because of the network problem. I was unable to open the PPT.
Just your objectives and then just say what are the findings, important findings of it.
Check me.
Yes, Dr. Nazim. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, please continue. Hello. Dr. Muhammad Nazim, can you hear me? I think there is some audio link problem.
I'm sorry because of the problem in the network connection, sudden problem in the network connection. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible now. Yes, please continue.
इसका ऑप्शन ही नहीं है हाइड ये तो क्लिक करिए ये शेयर करिए
नहीं ये तो वो है हमारा सेम स्क्रीन है बट ये नहीं आ रहा है ना इट इज नॉट ये जो है स्लाइड जो है
जी
अब ये कैसे आएगा
कंटेंट शेयर पे आता है सर
हाँ Okay. So, my topic is open access uptake by universities, particularly in India. So, the objective of the research is to analyze open access uptake by academic and research institution in India, and to determine the extent to which the research output of Indian universities is open access. So these are two important objectives of the paper. So I think it is not important to discuss the reasons of emerging this new scholarly communication model that is open access because of the increasing cost of knowledge resources. And there is the fact that because publicly funded research should be freely available to the public. So these are two important factors which led to the development of open access scholarly communication model. So open access is just an alternative to the conventional subscription-based publishing model, which means the literature, open access literature is free to read, download, copy, and distribute without most of the copyright restrictions. And all kind of scholarly publications can be open access, but they are not limited to the categories we listed. That is paper in journals, conference paper, dissertation, thesis, and data sets. These are some of the examples, not a complete list of open access publications. Reasons for open access movement is global access, global visibility, global exposure, and increased citation and increase. Because when something which is publicly available and openly available, it is a chance to be read more by more people, and it has a chance to be cited by more people. So that, and it basically one of the important factor is the research acceleration, because particularly in developing countries where there are limited financial resources for the institutions to subscribe journals and other information resources. So in developing countries, open access publications can contribute to the acceleration of the research. There are 4 different colors, or we call roads to open access. We will discuss in the findings of the study. That is green, where most of the publishers are allowed the authors of the journals to or to self-archive their pre or post prints institutional websites or their personal websites or different institutional repositories. Just after submitting papers for publication in pure open access journals. Hybrids means the all access journals where some of the articles may be available in open access domain, but author of those publications need to be paid article processing charges. IONS is a new type of open access publication where the explicit, there is the absence of explicit mention of the open access license. They are free to read. 2 different licensing provisions as discussed by Dr. Muzammil Mushtaq. This is a brief overview of the treatises in publishing and open access publishing in India. Around 9,000 registered publishing houses are there, and 90,000 titles are published per year in India. 70% of the Indian publishers have already digitized their content and produced e-versions. And the value of Indian publishing industry has been estimated to be $6.7 billion US dollar, and the overall growth per year is 15%. India is the 6th largest publisher in the world overall, and the 2nd largest publisher in the world for English language books. And India has been ranked at 13th place by Nature Index 2020 for its high quality scientific publications in an independently selected group of 68 high quality scientific journals. This is the trends of OA journals and open access digital repositories with 286 OA journals indexed in direct-to open access journals and 94 open access digital repositories. India is ranked at 6th place in both open access journals publishing and as well as open access digital repositories, which is ahead of countries with higher research output such as Netherlands, China, Germany, and France. This is trend of OA publications based on the analysis of publication data which is taken from the Scopus during the period of 2015 to 2019. India is ranked at 5th place in terms of total number of publications with 5.3% share in the world's total research output. And India is ranked at 6th place in terms of open access publications in the world after the United States, China, United Kingdom, Germany, and Japan. And India's contribution to OA publication was 21%, which is 4% lower than the world average of 25%. And the annual growth of OA publication in India was approximately 12.5%. There are several studies which are particularly conducted in India. I have not covered the studies other than India. Some studies have examined the growth in the number of open access journals and digital repositories, which are listed, the name of the authors who conducted these studies. And finding these studies revealed that number of OA journals and OA digital repositories in India are constantly growing. Some studies have examined the citation advantage of open access publications over non-open access publications in different subjects and across India using bibliographic and citation databases. These are authors who conducted the studies. And findings of these studies show a higher citation count for open access publications than non-open access publications. Some studies have also analyzed the level of OA adoption contribution of scholarly literature by Indian researchers in different open access outlets. And finding shows that 24% of India's research output was available in open access domain compared to 30% of the world. The level of open access was varied across disciplines, with medical science, physics, and biology having higher percentage of their articles available as compared to those like arts and humanities, social science, and information science. More of articles was found as green open access compared to gold open access. So this is just a methodology for this my study. That is, we have selected 36 Indian universities which are included in Center for Science and Technology Leiden ranking 2020, and universities that produce at least 300 science index publication in English language, particularly articles and reviews, during the period of 2015 to 2018 are included in the Leiden ranking 2020.
Let's come to the findings. Come to the findings.
Okay, so just we try to extract the publication data from the database of Leiden ranking database, and we have tracked the publication in 5 broad disciplines, that is biomedical and health sciences, life and earth sciences, mathematics, physical sciences and engineering, and social science and humanities. And the OA level were determined in the above 5 fields. And the OA state was basically identified using unpaywall data, which is basically ready-made data available in the Leiden ranking 2020 website, which is given here. Okay. So these are results. Overall, the 36 universities which are included in the Leiden ranking 2020 published around 110,000 total publications, out of which around 23% publications are in open access domain. This is just half of the world, because the median share of open access publications from India is much lower, around half than the median share of universities worldwide. This is basically for those universities which are included in the ranking. Proportion of open access publications by type. The most of the green is the most favorite outlet, and which is followed by gold open access, and hybrid is the lowest type of open access, because authors need to pay for that. And in India there is no mandate, there is no provision of funding for paying the article processing charges, and this is the reason that hybrid open access is implemented at a lower level. Open access publication by broad subject discipline, we can see the total publication as well as open access publications. Physical science and engineering has the highest publication, total publication as well as the open access publication, and humanities and the social sciences is the lowest. In both of the cases, total publication 438 and the open access publication 140. Proportion of open access publication by subject, we can see the life and earth sciences has maximum percentage of open access publication compared to other disciplines. And this is overall publication by universities, and which we have included 25 universities which having at least 800 publications. And these are the open access publication by different universities. Their Indian Institute of is basically topped at the top level in both the cases, and this proportion of open access publication by universities. So Indian Statistical Institute, which is not included in both the list, but here the proportion in case of percentage of open access publication, Indian Statistical Institute has maximum number of percentage of open access publication. So just this is the conclusion of the study. We had a great difference of open access between universities. For example, in terms of overall publications, different IITs show a higher number of publications than other universities and institutions. Indian Institute of Science is a leading institute in both overall publications as well as in number of open access publications, but dropped at 7th place in terms of proportion of open access publication. Important thing is, it is important to note that Indian Statistical Institutes even does not get a place in the list of leading institutes in both overall publication and number of open access publication, but secure first place in terms of proportion of open access publication. Thus, this is the candidate, despite less than 1% GDP, which is allocated to research and in India and lack of article processing charges funding in India, and without any clear mandatory policies related to open access at the institutional and national level, it seems to be contributing significantly to open access publishing. Although the study is descriptive in nature, it opens the opportunity for institutions, funding agencies, and Indian science policy makers to better understand the expansion of open access in the country and better design and model effective mandates of open access publishing. Thank you, sir, for providing me this opportunity to just present the findings of the paper. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Dr. Nazim.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello. Dr. Pooja is here.
Yes, yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. I'm here. I'm very much here. Good afternoon, sir.
Right. Good afternoon. Now, Dr. Pooja, may I make a request to you?
Please, sir, go ahead.
Okay.
I need to finish it up.
Dr. Jai Bhatt is also here.
Okay.
So, can we hear him first?
No
and
problem.
then we'll come to you. Right?
I would love to hear him, sir. I would love to hear him. Okay. It's perfectly fine with
Dr.
me.
Jai Bhatt? Right. Dr. Jai Bhatt.
Okay.
So everyone is really interesting to listen to you. COVID-19 on library practices in US. So I invite Dr. Jai for the invited talk. Yes, Dr. Bhatt.
Okay, let me share my presentation. Okay, is everybody able to see my slides now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to talk about the role of libraries during COVID-19 and plans for their reopening in the US. And I have tried to keep current as much as possible, so you're going to see a lot of slides and updated with recently updated information. So I am Engineering Librarian Scholarly and Communications Department here at Drexel University in Philadelphia. So let's start with the current information landscape, what is happening. Everybody knows rapidly evolving information in various subjects, arts, literature, science, business, proliferation of fiction in all major Indian languages, and as a result of which the digitization of various language books are happening also. And those initiatives are also taking place here in the US. So just imagine that books of Indian languages are getting digitized here, and many of the universities also house those books. So it's very important for all of us to keeping current in terms of how the information is evolving, how libraries can help in terms of keeping us current and sharing the spark of knowledge with the experts all over the world. And now in today's world, virtually becoming looks like it's becoming a critical way of sharing information. And for example, today we are all got together on the virtual platform all over the world, and it's so nice to see and connect with you all by being here, and I'm able to share and listen to your presentations, and in the process learning about current developments in India as well. So that's why the dissemination of information is becoming so critical, and it can be done through different initiatives. I'm going to focus on both academic and public libraries. So I will get some examples of university libraries, and I'll take examples of public libraries. There are two important systems of sharing information, catering two different types of audiences, and I'm going to talk about it as we go forward. But what libraries can envision during this time is a strong community engagement, whether through universities or through public libraries, inspiring different local language learning initiatives that can be done in public libraries, collaboration and team-based projects, and the library as a central place, and both physical and virtual. It can also create enhanced team-based projects. So you create groups work together, converse and learn different languages, and it has been, we were doing this face to face when we were all open, but can we do this virtually? Can we have groups together? Can we have group collaborative projects together through the virtual platform? And this is something we need to think about. And doing so, how can we enhance the critical thinking component? What we want to envision is not just reading a book or a textbook, but how using those learning materials, a critical thinking is motivated and inspired amongst students. And then the application of critical thinking through inquiry and dialogue. And how can we, how can libraries help to stimulate human mind virtually? So these are something we all need to think about. And during COVID-19, we can be able to continue with that as well. So I'm going to share some examples from different libraries, how COVID-19 and how libraries have responded to this tremendous challenge, how this has also helped in contribution to cultural growth, innovation, services, and education. How do we move forward, keep forward, plans for reopening, no matter what challenges and obstacles we face, we continue to move forward while being healthy and being safe. And these are kind of challenging times, but I have observed that during the challenging times itself, we come up with some ideas, inspire ideas that were never done before. So this is a screenshot from the American Libraries Association page, and it can gives you some example here how many libraries are in the US. Estimated 16,000 libraries of all kinds in the US at the moment. And you can see there are public libraries, there are academic libraries, there are 9,000 public libraries, and many academic libraries also. So you can see here 9,057, same website, number of libraries in American libraries, 9,000 public libraries data, and university libraries, 3,000 and that's libraries. So we're going to focus mainly on public and academic libraries today. Public libraries cater the need of communities. To give you a little bit of an understanding of what public libraries are, each different town here in the US has their own libraries. So different cities and towns, like for example in Philadelphia, we have Free Library of Philadelphia, and the city is a big city, so there are several branches across the cities catering different parts of the cities. So idea is to cater the community needs of people and reaching out to everybody. And a lot of times, so those who do not have internet access, they can come to the libraries and take advantage of it as well. Academic libraries, on the other hand, cater the need of universities. Like for example, Drexel University, where I am, is an academic library. And the examples we that also showed today are also academic libraries, and I heard in the presentation there. We are not going to focus on school libraries today. So what do public libraries do? In whole, this is applied to even academic libraries as well. And this particular page from ilovelibraries.org, I loved it very much. So I just took some information from that page and compiled it here. Being ilovelibraries.org is one of the good website for, I think, all libraries need to look at. So build community. Libraries are community hubs. In addition to connecting people to information, they connect people to people. Very important. Provide access. It serves people of every age, income level, location, ethnicity, physical ability, providing the full range of information resources needed to live, learn, govern, and work. Remote literacy, committed to helping children and adults develop the skills they need to survive and thrive in a global information society, the ability to read and use computers. And now we have to go beyond just the ability to read and use computers. We need to start thinking about how they can apply those skills to move forward in their career or even start contributing to the well-being of the society. Protect your rights. Libraries are advocates for your right to read and your right to reader privacy, and innovate. And that is a big thing. Libraries are places for community engagement, a platform for great minds to come together. Increasingly, libraries are becoming a place for creation and collaboration. And this is an important way in today's world where a lot of research is happening in collaboration in interdisciplinary areas. We saw the examples of physics, science, biology, and arts and sciences earlier in previous presentations, and how in open access their contribution is currently being done all over the world. So, and how now we are talking about virtual also. So while this was a physical space for creation and collaboration, how can it be a virtual place for creation and collaboration as well? Can the librarians from US and India and other countries work together and publish a joint paper? Can they create a joint symposium? Already they're being done, but I'm envisioning that the presentations should be in collaborative nature, not just the presentations from the Indian libraries or from the US librarians, but sort of like a US librarian working with Indian librarian with a different country and jointly present their ideas and share. Just a thought. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the university libraries first, and then we'll go to public libraries. And being from Drexel, I'm going to start with Drexel University Libraries first. So first example, University Libraries COVID-19 updates from Drexel University, and our website is www.library.drexel.library, or simply if you just type Drexel University Libraries in Google, it should come up with all that page. Now you can see here right on the front page, there's a COVID-19 update. Find the latest information about the libraries, resources, and services. Just click on that link, and all that is what is currently happening. The library page also gives you different tabs. You can want to search. Now this is going to be different. We have a new system. Currently we had Summon, but now we went to Primo, Ex Libris. So this search platform is going to search across thousands of books, journals, and all different types of learning materials right from here. So you can use Book and More tab, you can electronic journals lab, library guides, and digital archival collections. And there's an advanced search option that we also teach our students, our current list of databases that we have access to. We have a big health sciences library as well as medical school. So there's a lot of information there. We may be off campus, but the Drexel Libraries staff is still here to help. And we are open both, and you're going to see that we have just started with some hours in the libraries as well. So these are some quick links. When the library is open, hours, every student and faculty member, staff can get their own library account, and they can monitor what books they have requested and what currently they have checked out. All through that. Course results is a place where a lot of times the professors are requesting material to put on result, and could be electronic result, and the students can access that, and different policies. Now they have to, in today's world, they will need to reserve a seat in the library to be able to enter the library. It's not that anybody can walk in. All the testing and make sure that all they have gone through all the training about COVID. They have taken the exam and they have passed it. They have to do that course and take a pledge for the safety, and then they should be able to enter the library after making a reservation. And you're going to see all this, and all the Get Help library guides are linked from here. And we also have virtual chat options. So simply, they can post a question here, and one of us is simply answering those questions on chat. So this is the new page. We have redesigned library informal learning environments, protocols to support social distancing, safe handling of physical books. We continue to provide remote services support for research and teaching to public health, the current public health crisis, and all the details are available here. So we also have been closed since March 9th, and many of our staff is still working from home. Drexel University Libraries continue to provide remote services to support uni community. We have 24/7 access to authoritative online information resources, including journal articles, ebooks, databases, streaming videos from anywhere, anytime. I briefly mentioned about live chat, and here is a link where they can go, and currently hours that our chat services are open. And we have librarians with different subject expertise, and on the library homepage all these details are given, the contact information for subject expertise. So I'm also an engineer and an engineering librarian. So I have 4 master's degrees. So I look after our engineering, our biomedical engineering area, our faculty, students research, and so on. Similarly, we have physics, chemistry, biology, computer science, arts and sciences, media, arts and design, digital media, social sciences, psychology, medicine, health science, all, and even business. Of course, the business is also a big area. So I'll cover all the subject areas. And we also have lots of online information sessions and events that our staff can attend for professional development. And so this is recent, just updated 2 days ago. So what you are seeing is the most recent information from our library. We are now resuming modified on-campus activities from September 21st, and all that revisions are detailed on this web page. So just go to the library homepage, go to the link that I showed you, and you will see the hours and information. And I mentioned about reserving a seat, and this is where students will need to go to create and apply for reserving a seat in the library. They must have a reserved seat in the library to study and work alone there. And of course, currently the access to the library's physical materials is limited to library staff only. Students cannot go to the physical locations at the moment. Library staff will ship physical materials upon request to confirm addresses. So we'll mail the material. They have to let us know what they want. Staff will go get that from our collection, and then we'll mail it to them. We'll ship it to them. We can also digitize possession of books and to deliver via email. Yeah. And of course, we have a large number of online access to different resources, journals, ebooks, databases, videos. They can do it from anywhere, anytime, and email, live chat, and phone. Our services are available. And a lot of our consultations are also happening on the virtual platforms like Zoom. So student needing to consult with us will send an email, we'll send a Zoom link, and we'll start showing them how to navigate to our database or whatever their information needs are. So Zoom is a big thing, or any virtual platform that even to Teams also we use, Google Meet also we use. So shipping and online of delivery of physical items will be available starting September 14th. Libraries have now started providing digitized copies of print materials, so ship physical materials to current students, faculty, and staff. Use Dragon Search. This is something new. We used to have Summon, now we call it Dragon Search, right, or the search box that you saw on the front page. And this is where they can go and find an item you want and borrow, and use the request item option to have it shipped to your confirmed address. So students can do that. They search, request item, and we'll ship the item to them wherever they are.
Excuse me, Dr. Bhatt. You have another 10 minutes to go.
Oh, I thought I had 45 minutes. Okay, that's fine. I'll go fast.
We have to wind up at 4 o'clock. Then they have a valedictory session.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do that. I'll go fast.
All right. Thank you.
So these are all online databases, e-journals, e-books, Drexel guides, all that can be accessed. Current listing of all our databases. This is just the business and economics, but you can just go ahead all subject areas. What different remote services are being available, live chat, scheduling, how do you consult with remote consultation, so they can set up a time and appointment with us. And all this help we are also providing to our researchers. Research data management support, writing and publishing, open access, author rights, research consultation to Zoom, and guide and tutorials. And we want our archives department to share their experiences. Our archives department is trying to collect experiences and times during these times when during the COVID-19 faculty experiences, short story, voice, all that they can share, and we are going to be able to publish on this website. So next example I'm giving is University of Washington's library, and again they are also updating page with everywhere, so they can the students are constantly updated with latest information. So lot of this is on the website here. So we are used to use the websites. Everything is on the website. Library, databases, updates, all those. Another example, this is again from the University of Washington. You will see what services are online and what are available. So you can see the office hours consultations completely online. Chat are completely available, but interlibrary loan is not everything available. So then you can actually questions like when the library is open again. Curbside pickup is like on the footpath. A lot of libraries started doing it is collect anything that they want, students want. Staff collects the books, put it on the footpath. They come via car and pick up the book, whatever they want. Another example from Duke University Library. They have different phases. Currently, Duke 4 is on return to campus effort is in effect. Again, the details are here. Phase 4 from August to December. Necessary personnel to support student services, academic programming. So some support from the staff is now face to face. And I'm not going to go through the details of this. There's a lot of services available that Duke University Libraries is starting in the fall, September. So library takeout service, limited building access like Drexel, support for remote teaching and learning is already there, and requesting material online. University of Virginia Libraries, their collection spaces and how they can access. Maybe we can share this presentation to everybody who is attending so they can refer to it later on.
Yes, that can be done.
Okay, good. And they can ask me, anyone can ask me any questions later on, right? So we also have lot of libraries also have 3D printers in public libraries here. And I strongly encourage you to look at this article in American Libraries on virus responsive design and how architects are coming together to modify the design and spaces of library. So this is in Oklahoma. Library central location encourage physical distancing, so they have created spaces that way that you can keep social distancing while working on their projects or whatever. Designers are also thinking about how to better ventilate indoor spaces, looking at improved indoor air quality for HVAC systems, more operable windows, more fresh air, more air circulation. Fresh air is going to make for a better, healthier environment. And strongly encourage you. There's a link here. So you can read that whole article there. This is another public library where I work, Abington Township Public Library. And there's a whole idea on COVID-19 libraries here and their mission. Respond to the information needs of the community. Again, now we are talking about public libraries. So, so people of the community, the residents, and how we provide services to the community. That is what we are talking about here. Again, this is a search platform. Everything is on search. Everything means you can search for books, journal articles, everything from the public libraries here, and a lot of collections of ebooks. So we have currently in the month of September, we have an event, Celebrate Library Card Sign-up event. So libraries are wonderful. So if they, we encourage people to sign up get a library card. So September is a National Library Card Sign-up month, back to school, seasonal. Impress your teachers by being prepared. Getting a library card is your portal to incredible books. So we encourage every member of the community to have a library card so that they can access online materials, books, or whatever they want. And so we have a lot of events, online, park, zoo, so virtual zoo, so people can attend zoo, for example. Science reference books are online. Hoopla, Canopy, these are all videos, but all, as you can see, when I had this screenshot, we have up to September 9th. Virtual craft, all these are online. Museum, online museum event, for example. So this is another National Library Week video, and you can watch this video as our staff provide steps on how to use libraries during the COVID. And another example, this is the main topic, what is next in how are we going to provide services in the COVID time. And this is an event about online park, zoo, and live streaming. And so there's a link, and the students can, not students, actually the community. It's the community library. Everybody can go and as if attend events in a zoo or a museum. And virtual activities, ebooks, everything available, full online access. Hoopla, Canopy, these are all digital content for downloading books, videos, magazines, and comics with their library account. And this is the curbside pickup I was talking about. This curbside means footpath in language. And we libraries also have lots of online courses like universal class system that we have access to. So you can different subject areas. If they want to learn about accounting, more than 40 courses. They learn about finance, more than 65 courses. Health, 45 courses. And this is the curbside traffic info may come. This is a parking lot area and gives instruction on how to bring your car and when the curbside pickup is available to pick up their books. They need to make an appointment. All the instruction video is here, how to request and how to pick up books from curbside. Next steps, excellent social media present for our Abington Library, and all of this can be accessed from this page here. Now, a little bit about Free Library of Philadelphia. Again, community library, literacy, guide learning, inspire curiosity, community activities, lifelong learning, and everything is right here on this page, freelibrary.org in Free Library of Philadelphia. And about our libraries, searching right on the front page, search everything, whether it is catalog, website, or online sources using Explore option. So hundreds of databases they can search. And this is Find, Explore, Ask, all digital media guide, healthy communications that they can do. Updates on the library response to COVID-19. Click on that link and all the details about what services are currently available, what virtual programming is available that they can do, special message from the library currently happening in the times of COVID. planning for reopening, everything is right here. And American Library Association has number of webinars programs available online. Of course, it will be at different types, but I strongly encourage you to try out a few things that are really amazing webinars happening on and different sources, pandemic sources for academic libraries, for public libraries, American Library Association's COVID response homepage, so on. For each state in the US, they are providing guidelines for planning documents for reopening libraries. I'm in Pennsylvania, so I'll click on Pennsylvania Office of Commonwealth Libraries Framework for reopening, and I have all the details and how what the steps we should follow when the library gets opened. And we are in the green phase of the library. So we public libraries will provide 75% of occupancy and for social distancing requirements and limit occupancy below 75% capacity and so on. And final comments. Basically, we have a crucial role for libraries to help create engaging virtual learning environments, physical, virtual. We start thinking about beyond COVID-19 and health and safety in mind, and all this new normal we need to keep in mind. Social interactions with events can happen even in virtual environments, and we can continue to build our virtual bonds to share and exchange ideas through these networks. And this can also help build community growth despite challenges. Academic research for accessing papers, online sources, virtual teaching, learning, all this happens. And of course, we are going to need to have support for such programs. So hopefully, our local industry and community donations, local governments and ministries can help to continue to move forward in these directions and provide a bridge for growth and development for communities, towns, cities, countries, and so on. So, and we all learn together by sharing ideas. So thank you so much. And this is my contact information. Please contact me, email me anytime if you need have any questions. And this is my website here. Very simple to remember. Drexel.edu, add the word library, and you can explore anything from here. And all university libraries, all public libraries, they have their own websites. So thank you so much for inviting me. I really, really appreciate it. Dr. Tariq Ashraf, Dr. Sharad Kumar, Safian Ahmed, and all of you. I have been honored and feel humbled to be here and talking to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jay Bhatt. It was really enlightened us what is happening in USA during the COVID. Thank you very much. And as you mentioned that this slide will be available with the Jamia University, and the participants, those who are interested, can have access to it. Now we are having another invited talk. Pooja, yes.
Yes,
Pooja, you are having 20 minutes because at 4 o'clock they will be starting a valedictory function. So I invite Dr. Pooja Anand Gulati. She will be giving an invited talk on managing, measuring, and maximizing research impact. Over to Dr. Pooja.
Thank you very much, sir. A very good afternoon to all of you. Hope all of you are keeping safe. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes.
Yeah. Hope all of you are keeping safe. And I also hope that all of you are awake towards the end of this technical session. So please permit me to share my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes. So once again, good afternoon to all of you. And I hope all of you are keeping safe. And let me begin by expressing my gratitude towards the entire community of Jamia Millia Islamia, and in particular University Librarian Dr. Tariq Ashraf, for giving me this opportunity. It's an honor and quite encouraging for me. So with this feeling of gratitude, please permit me to initiate today's talk. My today's topic is very interesting and pertinent for the academia world. We have been observing that educational institutions and researchers are increasingly being asked to demonstrate both quality and impact of their work. Why they are increasingly being asked to demonstrate the quality of their scholarly output? Because it is one of the significant parameters which is being considered while determining the rank of an educational institution. Further, to validate my point, I would like to relate my point with the help of this slide. This is the latest QS World Top Universities Ranking report, and this report is based on 6 indicators or 6 parameters, and out of this 6 parameters, the 4th one is in red color, which is reflecting that quality of research output of an institution plays a significant role while determining the rank of that particular institution. Similarly, if an institution would like to get funding or grant from an international body, then that would also be determined on the basis of the scholarly output, quality of the scholarly output of that particular institution. That is why higher educational institutions are deeply concerned about the quality of their research output. Again, this slide would let you know that there are, this is another body which is bringing out universities ranking report. And this another body is considering 5 parameters. And out of these 5 parameters, 2 again are paying attention on the research output of an institution. And the parallel body in India, which is ranking higher educational institutions, is NIRF, which we all know. And as per NIRF, Jamia Millia Islamia has secured 10th position, followed by University of Delhi. And you will be surprised to know that NIRF, these international bodies are giving 20% weightage or 30% weightage to scholarly output of an institution, whereas this national body is giving 33% weightage. 33% weightage to scholarly output of that institution. That is why these metrics or indices are so important. And that is why these indices are being devised. These indices are important not only from institution's point of view, they are also important from the point of view of an author. If an author would like to know where does he stand in terms of the impact or the kind of significance in his area of research, then how he'll be measuring his impact in his particular field of study. So these indices play an important role in measuring the impact of a particular author. And authors are also equally concerned to collaborate. They would also like to collaborate with prominent authors in their area of research. They would also like to get their work published in highly impactful journals. So there must be some indices to measure these, to measure the literature on these different levels. So after discussing the importance of these metrics, let us walk into a model which has recently been adopted by Roymer and Rachel Borchert. What does this model say? As per this model, these measures can be categorized into 4 levels. And what does this level 1 model say? Level 1 talks about the individual scholarly contribution. Individual scholarly contribution in terms of a journal article, in terms of a book chapter, in terms of a blog post, in terms of a poem, fiction, anything, whatever intellectual content you are contributing to the academia world, that comprises of individual scholarly contribution. And this is the basic building block. This is the basic building block on the basis of which all other measurement metrics are being devised. So there is a common metrics which is considered quite credible and is widely being used across the world for measuring the individual scholarly contribution in a particular field of study. What is that metric? That metric is known as field weighted citation impact, which I have enclosed in the brackets. Against this level, the measure which is being used against this level is enclosed within this bracket. What is that called? Field weighted citation impact. We'll be discussing about all these metrics in subsequent slides. Now let us come to level 2. What does this mean? Where your individual scholarly contribution is being published. Venue of your publication, because that also carries significant weightage. that is why researchers are so keen to get their work published in highly impactful journal. Why? Because highly impactful journal, their outreach, because of their greater outreach, their good reputation and exclusivity. Let me explain that with the help of an example. If a medical science person would like to get his work published, then he'll be more than happy to get that published in a journal known as Lancet, because Lancet is one of the sought after journals in the field of medical sciences. In the same manner, Nature is a journal which is a sought after journal in the field of science. So if your work will get published in either of these journals, depending upon your field, then you will be considered an author of high impact. So the venue also carries weightage, and the venue is also being measured in terms of indices. And what are those indices? Impact factor. Impact factor is an index which is being used to measure the impact of a journal in a particular field of study. But impact factor has got certain biases. So in order to overcome those biases, some refined versions or some fine-tuned versions of impact factor have come, and they are source normalized impact factor and Scimago journal rank. We'll be learning about all these indices in our subsequent slides. I'm just giving you a glimpse what all we are going to talk about in our today's presentation. So after level 2, let me come to author level metrics. As I have been mentioning, that authors are also interested in knowing what kind of impact they have created in their field, and what are the prominent authors who are publishing the most in their area of research. So what metric is being used to assess which author is most prominent in a particular field of research? The balanced metric, which is widely being used and considered credible for measuring the impact of an author, is H-index, and the equivalent measure is I10 is also there, but I would say the widely accepted measure is H-index. Hope I'm audible to all of you. The voice is fine now.
It's okay. It's audible.
Okay. And the level 4 talks about institution level metrics. Like I have been mentioning right from the beginning, that institutions are being ranked on the basis of the quality of their scholarly output. So they are, that is why there should be some indices, metrics, on the basis of which the institution A is being ranked above institution B. And if they would like to attract funds, grants from international bodies, then also these indices would be helpful, because they'll be assessing whether this institution in this particular field of study is ahead of other institutions or not. So what are these metrics? There are two commonly and widely accepted metrics which are being used for measuring the reputation or quality of scholarly output of an institution. They are Essential Science Indicators Ranking and Scimago Institution Ranking. Then lastly, we'll be wrapping up our talk by learning about some smart ways to enhance the visibility and reach of your own research work. So now we know that there are 4 levels in terms of this model, which was adopted by Robin Romer and Rachel Bocher. Let us try to understand the importance of research metrics in terms of these 4 levels only. As I have already explained, if an author would like to know the impact of his work, then H-index is the only metric which he'll be using to assess the quality of his work or the impact of his work in his particular field of study. If he would like to attract grants or funding from international bodies, then also he'll be able to attract those grants on the basis of the H-index he'll be standing on. And then if you are applying for any kind of career advancement scheme, or if you are applying for recruitment, then also you will be asked to provide your H-index. So if at all you have reached a certain level of your profession and you are being nominated for some kind of recognition or award, then also H-index would be one of the parameters to assess you for whether you are eligible for getting that recognition or award. So from author's point of view, it is quite important, and from institution point of view, it is important, because for all the institutions are running in the race of getting topmost ranks, and if they would like to attract funding, then also, and if they would like to collaborate with other institutions in their area of research, then they would also like to assess which institutions are performing the most in a particular area of research, which are the active areas of research where other institutions are working, and these indices would be helpful in that also. And individual scholarly contribution levels. Suppose I would like to pursue research on a topic, and I am just contemplating what should I write and which topic should I pick. So once I'll be looking out, once I'll be discovering the literature which is there in the academia world, I'll get to know the active research area. What do I mean by active research area? The area which is creating buzz these days. Like these days, which is the area which is creating buzz? Coronavirus. It is being studied from all aspects, not only from medical sciences. Even coronavirus is creating impact on the economies of the world. So even economists and commerce people are studying it from different aspects. So once we'll be able to have the and if I would like to, if I'm exploring and discovering some literature and 25 hits have come, if I would like to decide which article or which research work should I pick for my own research work, which research work should I cite in my own research work, what would be the basis? The basis would be that index, FWCI, Field Weighted Citation Impact, that how good is that particular research contribution or contribution in the academia world. So that index would let me know, okay, this research article is comparatively better than the regular set of literature available in this particular field. And source level, we have already discussed that source has got an important role because of it. If it has got its exclusive importance in a particular field of study, its reach is greater than other kind of sources, which are regular kind of sources in that particular field. So this sources, from sources point of view also, it is very important. Once you will get to know that these are the highly impactful journals in my field of study, then you would like to get your work published in those particular journals only. So
Dr. Pooja, excuse me, Dr. Pooja, you have 10 minutes to go, right?
Okay. Okay,
right.
So this is, okay, I'll be completing it in another 10 minutes. Right. So this is new research narrative. And now the basic, now we'll be talking about the common indices which are being used for measuring the quality at different levels. So, and these indices are being used for measuring the academic impact of research, not the social impact. Social impact is beyond academia world. So impact factor, just 4 indices are there, and I'll be able to complete it in 10 minutes. So impact factor is there for measuring the impact of a journal in a particular field of study. And impact factor is generally being calculated over a period of 2 years, is always being calculated over a period of 2 years. And how it is being calculated? It is a ratio. Impact factor is a ratio. In this ratio, what number will be, there is a numerator and there is a denominator. Okay, what number we'll be putting in denominator? The total number of articles which got published in the preceding 2 years, that number we'll be putting in denominator. And what number we'll be putting in numerator? The total number of citations which appeared against those articles, that number we'll be putting in numerator. For instance, if you would like to understand it with the help of this hypothetical example, this impact factor is being calculated for a journal for the year 2014. And for that, I have summed up the total number of articles which got published in the preceding years, that is 2012 and 13. So the total number of articles in that hypothetical journal which got published in 2012 and 13 were 1000. So I'm putting that number in denominator, that is A is equal to 1000, A is our denominator. And the total number of citations which appeared against these 1000 articles are 3000. So I'm putting that number in numerator. When I'm dividing 3000 by 1000, B by A, the result is 3. So this is the impact factor of that hypothetical journal for the year 2014. So this is the way in which we are calculating the impact factor of a journal, but we don't have to do it manually. There are tools, they are widely acceptable tools, credible tools. They are Scoopers and Web of Science, and Google Scholar is also one of them, but Google, Scoopers and Web of Science are considered credible for retrieving these impact factors of the journals. And as I was mentioning, that there is some bias in this impact factor, that it is biased towards fast moving subjects. Why it is biased towards fast moving subjects, and what are these fast moving subjects? Fast moving subjects are those subjects where the volume of literature is creating at a fast pace. Since the volume of literature which is being created is at fast pace, so accordingly the citations are being created at fast pace. So obviously it is quite biased towards those subjects where the literature is getting created at fast pace. So to remove these biases, other refined and fine-tuned versions of impact factors have come, and these three fine-tuned versions are CITE score. What does this? How does this CITE score is different from impact factor? This CITE score also takes into account conference proceedings. However, the impact factor is exclusively focusing on journals. But there are instances where primary information is being published in conference proceedings also. So it is taking into account journals as well as proceedings. And what does this second index is saying? This second index is overcoming that bias, that is source normalized impact per paper, and this index is being developed by University of Leiden, Netherlands. So it is giving weightage to the citations being produced in that particular subject. If the citation is appearing in a slow-moving subject like engineering, mathematics, and humanities, it is giving weightage to those citations accordingly, as compared to the fast-moving subjects like sciences and medical sciences. So it is removing that bias, this index. And then the third index is Scimago journal rank. It is normally associated with the prestige of the journal, where the citation is appearing. If the citation is appearing in a patent, then obviously that citation would be qualitatively better than a citation which is appearing in a regular kind of literature. So it is also taking into account the reputation of the citation, where the citation is appearing, Scimago journal rank. And you don't have to calculate these things manually, because there are tools which I have already told you, two tools which are widely being used are Scoopers and Web of Science, and whatever literature is being indexed in those databases, on the basis of that, and most of the literature which is being indexed in these databases are peer-reviewed literature. Again, peer-reviewed is again a measure for measuring the quality of literature. How peer-reviewed literature is better than regular kind of literature? Because that literature is being reviewed by the topmost prominent persons in that particular area of research. That is why that piece of literature becomes qualitatively better than regular piece of literature. So after that, I have covered the indices which are commonly being used for measuring the impact of a journal in a particular field of study. And I have also covered the biases which are there. Now let us come to H index and field weighted citation index. Field weighted citation impact is usually being used to measure the quality of a particular research work, be it a journal article, be it a chapter, be it a blog, be it a conference proceeding article, anything. How you will be measuring it? There is a number which is being given to an average article in a particular. See, if in sciences I would like to rate that in this field, out of these 100 articles which are being discovered with the help of any database, which are the best ones? Whom should I pick up from my study? How I'll be doing that? I'll be doing that on the basis of this global world average number, which is always equal to 1. It means whatever literature is being produced in that particular field, the average literature would be marked as would be equivalent to number 1. If the FWCI number is greater than 1, it means that literature work is moving towards good, better, and best. And if that FWCI of that particular research work is less than 1, it means that particular research work in that particular field of study is below average. So accordingly, you will select, accordingly you will pick up the research work. And this also again be validated by the number of citations, how many times that particular research work is being cited. So you will be able to know if the number of citations would be more, it means that work is getting attention, more attention, and the acceptable index for a particular research work is this FWCI. Higher the FWCI, it means quality wise in that particular field of study, quality wise that particular piece of work is more than average. If it is less than 1, it is less than average. And you will be surprised to know that many research organizations like DBT and DST, they are giving FWCI of the research works that they are citing or giving using in their references. So they are apprising us of their FWCI also. And then lastly, which is very important for us from individual point of view, that is H index.
Pooja, time is running.
Okay, this is last point which I'm trying to make. H index, as all of us know, that H is a threshold number. H index takes into account both productivity and quality of a particular author. When your H number of articles have received at least H number of citations, then it means that number would be your H index. Let us try to understand with the help of this example. Like author A has got 9 publications, and against each publications the number of citations are mentioned. Okay, but there are only 5 publications which have got at least 5 or more than 5 publications. Out of 9, only 5 have got at least 5, and 5 then more than 5. This has got more than 5, 4 more than 5, more than 5, more than 5, and the rest 4 have not got more than 5. So in this case, in author A case, the H index is 5. Whereas in the case of author B, the H index is 4, because the number of publications are 4 and the number of citations at least, where is the threshold? The threshold is 4. The threshold is 4 for all the 4 publications. The citations are 4 or more than 4. For example, if I have got 2 publications, only 2 publications, one has got 50 citations and another has got 100 citations, it doesn't mean that my H index will go 50 or 100. My H index would always remain 2, because I am not consistent in producing literature. My total number of documents being produced written by me are 2 only. So my H index would remain at 2, irrespective of the number of citations received against those documents. So it takes into account quantity as well as quality in terms of citations. So H index again has got the same kind of limitation, that it is biased towards fast moving subjects. So whenever you are comparing the H index of 2 people, it should not be interdisciplinary, because it is quite possible that H index of a person belonging to science stream would be comparatively higher than than the H index of a person belonging to a slow moving subject, social sciences, humanities, or mathematics. So H index is not comparable beyond streams. And these are the tools which I have already mentioned. These are the credible tools acceptable across the world for retrieving these indices. And Google Scholar is not considered that reliable, which I would like to highlight of this example. This is a famous CNR Rao, is a famous chemistry person and presently associated with JNU. When his H index was retrieved through Scoopers, it was 133, because again he belongs to a fast moving subject. And when the same H index was retrieved to Google Scholar, it was 155. So there is a lot of duplication in Google Scholar. So Google Scholar is not considered that reliable. And again, now I'll be wrapping my thing, that there are some smart ways in which you may enhance the visibility of your own research work. And these are, some of them are, you register yourself with research networks like Academia and ResearchGate, and then you should create your ORCID, Open Researcher Contributor ID, which is free to create, and it is always advisable to be consistent while writing your name. Like my name is Dr. Pooja Anand Gulati. Whenever I am writing, I should write as Dr. Pooja Anand Gulati and not somewhere Dr. Pooja A Gulati, Dr. Pooja Gulati, because computer would recognize me as 3 different persons. In order to overcome this problem, it is is always advisable to submit your work with ORCID, Open Researcher Contributor ID. That way, you'll get a unique ID, just like Aadhaar card, and that would be an Aadhaar card for a researcher, you may say that, and you'll be able to publish your work with the help of that. Then you should, social media. These days, Plum Metrics Altmetrics have also come. They are taking into account these citations which are being attracted on the social platforms. So you be visible and try to showcase your work on social platforms also. This ORCID, LinkedIn is a professional network. These are some of the works. I'll be sharing my web PPT with all of you. So these are some of the tips which would help you to enhance your visibility and reach of your research work. With this, I hope I am able to convey whatever I wanted to, and I would be happy to receive any kind of observations and comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pooja Anand Gulati. It is very nicely presented. Most of our information people and librarians, they are in the area of measuring information. And, you know, DST started a long back in 1986, started with the Bhatnagar awardees measurement, how to give. So this initially set up a bibliometric center also at Niskaya in stock that time. So it was really a very nice presentation. Those participants are interested in the slides. They may get through the Jamia Millia Islamia through Dr. Tariq. I'm really very thankful to all the participants and especially the invited speakers, Dr. Jay Bhatt and Dr. Pooja Anand Gulati, and the reporter of this session. And special thanks to Jamia Millia Islamia Library, Dr. Zakir Hussain Library, and Dr. Tariq. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request my colleague, Mr. John Mir, to kindly present a bouquet of flower to Dr. Shailendra Kumar as a token of our regard.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. John Mir. Now the last session of this conference is a valedictory session, which will be conducted by our university librarian and organizing secretary of the conference, Dr. Tariq Ashraf. Now I invite Dr. Tariq Ashraf, please conduct the valedictory session.
Thank you, Dr. Khan. Thank you very much. Friends, the journey which we started 2 days back is reaching its conclusion. During the last 2 days, we have been able to engage in serious deliberations and discussions and have greatly benefited from invited talks from eminent speakers, both from India and abroad. Conference saw nearly 50 paper presentations from young and senior scholars and very engaging panel discussion this morning. The conference was presided by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Najma Akhtar, yesterday morning, and the keynote speaker of the conference was Ms. Christina McKenzie, the President of prestigious International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions. Through this conference, which was part of our centenary year celebration, we have been able to reach to hundreds of library professionals across the country through our YouTube channel and also through this Google platform, and hope they all enjoyed the deliberations from the comfort of their homes on this very important topic, that is knowledge, research, and innovation, changing role of libraries. Friends, we are indeed very honored and privileged to have with us this afternoon Madam Tara Murray Grove, President of Special Library Association, who very kindly agreed to deliver the very little talk, despite it being quite early in USA. Madam, we are indeed very honored to have us at this early hour, and we are immensely pleased and privileged that you have joined the very little session of our this very important conference. Thank you very much for agreeing to our request, and we are indeed very grateful. Now, let us welcome Madam Tara Murray by presenting a bouquet of flowers. So I request Dr. John Meir, the member of our technical committee, to kindly present a virtual bouquet of flowers to Madam Tara Murray and welcome her.
She is not visible at all. She is not visible.
She's there, sir. She's there.
Madam, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Very happy to be here.
Thank you. Tara Murray serves as the subject specialist in the university libraries for Germanic and Slavic languages, literatures and cultures, and for linguistics. She previously served as the Director of Information Services and librarian for the American Philatelic Research Library in Belfont, Pennsylvania, the world's largest library dedicated to stamp collecting and postal history, where she oversaw the renovation of new space for the library and developed the library's first digital collection. She also previously served as the Information Corps Director for Penn State's Population Research Institute and has experience in public and corporate libraries. She has an MLIS from University of Pittsburgh and a BA in German Studies from Bard College. Tara was recognized as a fellow of the Special Libraries Association in 2017 and is currently serving as president in year 2020. Thank you, madam. We would like to again thank you and welcome. We will also like to welcome Dr. Jagdish Arora, who has agreed kindly to preside over this function. We also have with us Dr. S. Majumdar, the ex-librarian of University of Delhi, who was the chairman of the committee constituted for adjudging the best paper which were presented during the conference. Thank you, sir, and welcome to this session. Now, to start the proceeding of this deliberation of this plenary session, I will be requesting my colleague, Dr. Sufyan Ahmed, Deputy Librarian at Dr. Zakir Hussain Library, Jamia Millia Islamia, for presenting the conference report. Dr. Sufyan Ahmed.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, one and all present here. As a general report here, I am going to present the conference report, which is as follows. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Dr. Zakir Hussain Library, which is Central Library of Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, organized its first ever 2 days online conference on research, innovation and knowledge, changing role of libraries on 15th and 16th September 2020 as part of the centenary year celebrations of the university. The university librarian, Dr. Tariq Ashraf, welcomed the guests and dignitaries and also introduced about the conference. The conference was inaugurated by Honorable Vice Chancellor of Jamia Millia Islamia, Professor Najma Akhtar Sahiba. The Vice Chancellor stressed upon the need to strengthen the services of the libraries so as to cater to the needs of the present day situation. She admired the services of the Central Library of Jamia during COVID-19 through remote access to its students and faculty members.
She also shared her vision and mission towards making Jamia a world-class university. She said, despite of some odds, 2020 brought some happy moments also for Jamia. She expressed her happiness over the recently released ranking by the Ministry of Education, in which Jamia secured first position among all central universities of the country. Followed by her address, Professor Zubair Minai presented a very informative talk on 100 years of Jamia Millia Islamia, in which he highlighted the importance and significance of Jamia on the occasion of its centenary year celebration. Keynote address was delivered by the President of IFLA, Ms. Christine McKenzie. In her address, she discussed about various issues and challenges and used a tagline which is very pertinent to the present situation: we are close but available. She also talked about transforming our world, the 2030 agenda of UN for sustainable development. During the conference, total 8 technical sessions were held, wherein 8 invited talks and 40 research papers, both from young and senior library professionals, were presented. All these invited talks were delivered by stalwarts of library and information science disciplines and on present-day issues and challenges, such as library services during COVID-19 by Dr. Dilara Begum from East West University, Bangladesh, electronic resources development, life cycle, contracts and metrics by Dr. Rama Patnaik, IIM Bangalore, research, publication ethics and academic integrity, changing role of libraries and librarians by Professor Ramesh C. Gaur, Professor and Dean IGNCA, research ethics in social sciences and humanities by Dr. P.R. Goswami, ex-director ICSSR and CSL. In pursuit of academic excellence, maximizing the impact of your research by Dr. M.G. Kumar, IIM Kozhikode. Copyright and fair use by Dr. Akhtar Parvez from Manu, Hyderabad. Measuring and maximizing research impact by Dr. Pooja Anand Gulati, librarian, Shahid Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi. COVID-19 library practices in US by Dr. Jay Bhatt, Drexel University, USA. One panel discussion was also held on the very important and relevant topic in today's context, that is learning from home issues and challenges, which was moderated by Dr. Jagdish Arora, the advisor, National Board of Accreditation and ex-director UGC in FLIBNET, in which some renowned library and information professionals such as Dr. R.K. Chadha, ex-additional secretary, Lok Sabha Secretariat, Dr. R.L. Laina, Vice Chancellor, J.K. Lakshmipat University, Jaipur, Dr. Ayaz Makhdoumi, ex-librarian, Jamia Millia Islamia, Delhi, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, Director, NRC, NIFT, Professor Jagtar Singh, Punjabi University, Dr. S.K. Naqvi, CIT Jamia, Mr. Kailash Bailani, MD, I Group, Mr. Sanjay Grover, MD Informatics, deliberated the issues and challenges of the present COVID-19 pandemic situations and how to cope with such situation, especially in Indian context. The whole panel discussion was divided into 7 components in the form of very interesting question answer sessions assigned to respective panelists. The 7 components were comprised of learning pedagogy, evaluation and assessment in online environment, e-content development and assessment issues, information technology literacy, students teaching interactions during online learning, access technology management, and finally e-learning platform. During the panel discussions, we had a very valuable and insightful discussions. After each technical sessions, the participants were provided an opportunity to deliberate the issues with the paper presenters and invited speakers. The conference received an overwhelming response. About 200 registrations were made for the conference from India as well as foreign countries, as we had restricted the number of participants. It was concurred during the conference that libraries are an integral part of research, innovation and knowledge and have been contributing to the process strongly. Libraries are responding to new challenges adequately and diversifying new areas like web publishing, information customization, research ethics, and academic integrity, managing and maximizing of research impact, etc. It was emphasized that for using research material effectively, users need exposure to information literacy programs, and libraries need to reach out to the very potential library user. Libraries also need to work hard to promote ethical and fair use of information, and also to identify fake and false information being generated through various social media platforms. Several speakers shared their vision for libraries in post-COVID situation. Participants interacted with the speakers on all these topics, leading to very useful deliberations. We believe that conference was a great success in brainstorming several key issues. With this, I conclude my conference report. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sufyan Ahmed, for capturing the proceedings of the conference and giving the details of the paper presentations and the invited talks. Thank you very much. Friends, to encourage the research scholars, to encourage the participants, and to encourage the paper presenters, we had announced a best paper award. And we had, for this purpose, constituted a small committee to look into the papers and the presentations under the chairmanship of Dr. S. Majumdar, who is former university librarian of prestigious University of Delhi. Dr. Majumdar has looked into all these papers, and
yes,
he has, he has spent some time with the committee members, and I'm sure that he must have arrived at some decision. So may I now request Dr. Majumdar to kindly announce the name of the best paper winner? Dr. Majumdar, please.
Thank you, Dr. Tariq. I am grateful that this honor has been given to me.
Thank you, sir.
The best paper. But this is a very hard task to judge as well as present the entire discussion in its capsule form. Let me tell you that the conference received 48 papers, research papers, just a minute, both from young and senior library professionals from different parts of the country. We received a large number of papers from female authors, and also being an important indicator of the gender diversity of this conference. On the basis of their relevance to the overall theme of the conference, quality of writing, importance of finding, and finally, quality of presentation in the technical sessions, I'm very happy to announce that the paper of Ms. Hemavati BN, titled Info-Tree Oasis, a portal for scholarly content, distinctive avenues for researchers, has been adjudged as the best paper. Congrats, Hemavati. The author will be conferred a certificate shortly by the organizers. I would like to congratulate the young author and wish her the best in her career. I will also like to announce that all these papers will be published as post-conference volume in the form of a book. After due editing, authors may submit their papers to organizers if not submitted earlier. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your effort in, arriving at this difficult decision. I suppose that it must have been, a lot of taken a lot of time and a lot of deliberation and discussion with the committee members. Thank you, sir, for spending your time, for sparing your time. And our hearty congratulations to Ms. Hemavati. I think if she's there, is Ms. Hemavati with us? No. So anyway, we will be. Are you there? No. The friends, as I said in the beginning, that Dr. Jagdish Arora, who is former director of prestigious InfilmNet, which is a consortium which was established by Ministry of HRD to promote e-resources, and it provides access to huge number of e-resources to large number of central universities in the country, to state universities and also to private universities, has kindly agreed to preside over this function. Dr. Arora is basically from IIT Delhi. He has served IIT Delhi for a long period, and also currently he is an advisor to National Board of Accreditation. It is indeed our privilege, Dr. Jagdish Arora, to have with us this afternoon also. And may I request you, may I take this opportunity to kindly request you to say a few words on this occasion.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Tariq. It's a pleasure for me to join this forum. In fact, the topic that you've chosen is very pertinent and well attended. I must congratulate you for the choice of persons for invited talks, for plenary sessions, and I must congratulate to involve the international flair that you've given. The keynote address was given by Christine McKenzie, and now we have SLA president with us. I had an occasion, or I had opportunity to listen to some of the talks. Of course, I was part of the panel discussions, and we had a very fruitful panel discussion. Thanks to the guidelines that were issued to me by Tariq. Tariq must have spent a lot of time in planning this event out. It's a great success. I must congratulate you. I think this is an opportunity that was well used for organizing this workshop on a topic that is most relevant. Now that we know that everything is going electronic, and by force people are not able to visit their respective institutions, the classes are being held online, not only in colleges, but also in schools. So it's a new opportunity where everybody has learned, and librarians have to, look out as to what role they can play. So my congratulations once again to Tariq and to all other organizers. So I must congratulate, and now we can go ahead with the next event.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your kind words. The objective of this conference was to deliberate upon changing role of libraries in promotion of knowledge, innovation, and research, and widen our understanding of these issues through a wide-ranging discussion on these topics. A knowledge-driven society requires constant research and innovation. Data is new oil and information is new power. Libraries have to massively diversify into these emerging areas and provide best possible support to the users. It is also essential for libraries to keep current on all these issues through seminars, conferences, and discussion with peers and domain experts. To speak on these issues and to further enlighten the participants, today we have with us the powerful president of Special Library Association, Ms. Tara Murray Grove. Before I request her to kindly deliver the validated talk, I would like to put on record my sincere thanks to my friend Dr. P.K. Jain for helping her to get the invitation reach Ms. Tara Murray, and I'm extremely thankful to Dr. Jain for his help in this process. So now I take this opportunity to request Ms. Murray to kindly come and deliver a validated talk. Ms. Tara Murray, please.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
I'm just getting my presentation up here. Oops. Sorry, I'm just getting my slides up here. While I am doing that, I will start by saying good afternoon to all of you, and thank you to Dr. Tariq Ashraf for the invitation to give this closing address. And I also want to congratulate all of the organizers and the speakers on an excellent program. And I hope that all of you attending have had an inspiring and educational 2 days. Let me see, I might have to do this without slides. I can't get them to come
You can
up.
take your time, no problem.
Okay. Of course, when I practiced this, it worked perfectly, and now it doesn't want to.
I think you have to share your presentation.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
You have to present it. You have to go to the bottom, and there is one present now.
Let me see if this works.
You please go to present now, and then your screen will be shared with us. Down right.
Yep. Window. Here. Okay. I've got it now. Sorry about that. Okay.
Yeah, that's it's.
You can see it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry about that. I wanted to start by saying that the theme of this conference, Research, Innovation, and Knowledge, Changing Role of Libraries, is so appropriate for our current situation. As the response to the COVID-19 pandemic has drastically altered library operations in the short term, we have an opportunity to take a critical look at our role as librarians and information professionals, to work together to chart a new course for ourselves. And I want to talk to you today specifically about how the temporary changes we're all experiencing as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic will affect our roles in the long term. Now, I don't claim to be able to see the future, but I can suggest some themes that we should pay attention to. As the president of the Special Libraries Association this year, I've been able to get a glimpse into the experience of many different information professionals in a wide variety of work settings all over the world. The Special Libraries Association, if you're not already familiar with us, brings together people who collect, manage, curate, archive, and analyze information and data. We are librarians and information professionals working in universities, corporations, cultural institutions, and government agencies. We have communities in the United States, Canada, Asia, Europe, and Australia and New Zealand. In my experience as president of SLA, I have seen that we, as information professionals, have faced challenges this year, ranging from lack of access to the resources, equipment, and technology that we need to do our jobs, to extreme budget pressures, to job loss. Now, in this turbulent time, is when we need to act if we want to shape our own future. Now, change is nothing new for our field. Libraries have been evolving throughout their long history, and librarians have been exploring our changing roles for years. You can see from this sampling of titles from the journal literature that the theme of changing roles goes back decades and probably longer. During the COVID-19 pandemic, most libraries have made dramatic temporary changes to their operations. As the pandemic spread, many libraries shut their doors completely and shifted to remote services. Slowly, libraries are reopening their buildings, often in stages and with restrictions. I've seen photo after photo of library furniture in storage so that in-person capacity can be restricted and physical distancing encouraged. Note that I did not say that the libraries themselves closed, because most have continued to offer some services remotely during the shutdown, including ebooks and other digital resources, virtual programming, curbside pickup, and drive-up Wi-Fi. Jay Bott in his presentation provided many examples earlier today. And this is a picture of my local library's curbside pickup. Now, most of the current changes are viewed as temporary emergency measures. We anticipate once the pandemic subsides, bringing our furniture back out of storage, offering in-person programming in group study areas, and providing full access to our print collections. But this is also an opportunity to pause and reflect on the role of libraries. What new services have emerged during this time that our users would miss if they were discontinued? What new things should the library keep doing? Are there things that we were doing just because we always have that no longer serve our goals? What can the library stop doing? It is important because we have limited resources. If we're going to do new things, we also need to think about what we can let go of, what we can stop doing. In their checklist for reopening libraries, the Australian Library and Information Association calls on libraries to re-examine their priorities. In their report, they said reopening will not mean going back to the way things were pre-COVID-19. It will mean putting in place the new normal approach to library services. This is the opportunity for libraries to prioritize their existing services and refocus investment on the services which are most highly valued by users. And they continue. Other innovations will most likely become part of normal service. In June, as it became clear that many libraries were planning to reopen and had questions about how to do so safely, I created the Special Libraries Association's Task Force on Reopening Specialized Libraries. Here in the United States, the American Library Association has developed guidance for public and academic libraries, but special libraries find themselves in a unique situation, or rather, many unique situations. Our libraries and information centers may be located within the offices of our organization, and we may have less control over our facilities than other types of libraries. Our clientele may be used to having free access to the facility, including after hours. So I asked the task force to consider these unique situations and help our members apply the existing research and guidance to their own reopening strategies. So far, the task force has hosted 2 roundtables and shared a list of resources, and they have asked to continue their work as we learn more about how to reopen. Similarly to the Australian Library and Information Association, this task force concluded that the knowledge we gain at this time will inform many aspects of the profession now and in the future. And we can start doing this work by asking questions. Library collections have been evolving towards digital content for a long time now. In some disciplines, like the sciences, library users have come to expect digital formats and may need encouragement to use print sources. In other disciplines, like the arts and humanities, which is where I work, the opposite may be the case. Loss of access to our print collections has accelerated acceptance of digital formats for some users. But it has also highlighted the number of resources that are not available in any digital format, or that are only available to libraries through a limited term license, or not available to libraries at all at any price. What does it mean for our collection building if libraries are spending precious collections funds on limited term licenses? How will this affect the publishing landscape? As more libraries and library users understand the implications of licensing agreements and big deals with publishers, will they start to rethink their relationships with these publishers? Will open access see increased support following COVID-19? Library spaces have also been evolving toward group study spaces and collaboration. But COVID-19 has forced many libraries to quickly repurpose these spaces. Group study rooms have become private study space or audio-video viewing areas. Furniture has been placed into storage. Formerly open stacks have closed. Once the pandemic restrictions are eased, will library users crave a return to group work and studying with others? Or will they increasingly value semi-private distance space where they can view online classes and meetings. Library events have been forced to cancel, postpone, or turn virtual. We have also seen a proliferation of born virtual events, both in our libraries and in our professional associations. Early in the pandemic, the Special Libraries Association held a virtual hangout to bring members together virtually because we couldn't gather physically. We were amazed at the turnout and started developing even more virtual programming, including a series of roundtables which continue to draw many attendees. Our communities, which are based in geographic areas or formed around common interests, have also been leaders in hosting virtual events. SLA Asia has been a shining example with an ongoing webinar series that has attracted thousands of attendees. Of course, we look forward to gathering in person again, but I think we will also see more virtual events going forward. If this conference today were in person, it is much less likely that I would be able to be here with you. Virtual events are more accessible to more people, usually offering lower registration fees and eliminating the barriers that travel entails for many people. In our libraries, virtual events and services like Chat Reference open the library to people who may find it difficult to visit us in person. Virtual conferences provide vital professional development and networking opportunities, but just as importantly, they have given us a chance to connect when we must remain physically distant. They have also allowed us to share our experiences with shifting to remote services and reopening our physical spaces so that we can learn from each other. We must also learn from each other as we work to chart our new course for the future. I would like to close by extending to you an invitation to attend SLA 2020, our virtual interactive experience taking place this October. It will include educational sessions, 2 keynote presentations, a virtual exhibit hall, and plenty of opportunities to meet and talk with fellow attendees. I know the time difference can be a challenge with virtual events in different parts of the world. As was mentioned earlier, it is quite early in the morning here for me, but I'm glad to be with you. But many of the sessions in SLA 2020 will be available to watch on demand if you miss the live presentation. A limited number of scholarships are also available to help with registration costs. And you can visit sla.org to learn more. I would love to see you there. So in closing, thank you so much again for the opportunity to participate in this conference. I hope that I have left you with some valuable questions to ask as you shape your future role, and I invite you to connect with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Tara. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and ideas with us and raising some serious concerns on post-COVID libraries and also suggesting new strategies. We have all been greatly benefited by your presentation and it has added immense value to the deliberations of this conference. Your suggestions on building strategic library collections is immensely important and well taken. We believe that we librarians need to share more in coming years as we fight the virus and capitalize on this rather ironical opportunity provided by this global pandemic. We need to turn this crisis into an opportunity for our users and researchers by global collaboration. Thank you, Tara, for all your efforts to come online at this early time in US and sharing your knowledge and wisdom. We look forward to meet you in next SLA meet in 2021. SLA has a strong presence in India and SLA Indian chapter is recognized as probably the largest chapter in the world. So all the best, all the very best for the same. Thank you once again for delivering this wonderful talk. Friends, the organizational process of this conference has drawn support.
Dr. Tariq,
Yes.
Hemavati is here. We must congratulate.
Yes.
Can you come online, ma'am? Ms. Hemavati?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can I?
We would like
Thanks to you,
to
sir.
congratulate you for winning this prestigious Best Paper Award. And
Sir, I would like to
would you
convey
like
my
to say-
sincere. Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the organizers for considering my paper as a best paper in this 2 days international conference. And Majumdar Saab, I'm overwhelmed with your words. Surely I'll keep this work and I'll work for more, sir. And
Thank you.
I would like to convey the thanks to my Tumkur University authorities also for encouraging me to participate in this event, sir. Thank you one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
friends, the organizational process of this conference has drawn support from several individuals and several offices of the university. We would like to formally thank all of them, and I will be requesting my colleague, Ms. Shazia Alvi, to kindly present a formal vote of thanks. Ms. Shazia Alvi.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Najma Akhtar, our most valued guest, Ms. Christine McKenzie, President, International Federation of Library Association, Ms. Tiara Murray-Grove, President, Special Library Association, dignitaries, distinguished speakers, and dear participants. I deem it an honor to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of Dr. Zakir Hussain Library, Jamia Millia Islamia, to one and all for gracing the occasion and making this conference a success. At the outset, we would like to acknowledge our deep sense of gratitude to our Chief Patron, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Najma Akhtar Madam, who blessed us with a presence and took out valuable time from a busy schedule. Madam, thank you for your stimulating speech that has inspired all of us. We most humbly convey our heartfelt thanks to Madam for her exceptional leadership, guidance, and motivation that shaped us well. We would also like to record our obligation to thank Mr. A.P. Siddiqui, Registrar, Jamia, Dr. Renu Batra, Finance Officer, Jamia, for their support and cooperation in organizing this conference. Further, we would like to extend our sincere thanks to Ms. Christine McKenzie, President, IFLA, for her very interesting and thought-provoking presidential address. It has been an honor for us to have Ms. Tiara Murray-Grove with us in this valedictory session. We would like to express our heartfelt thanks to Ms. Grove for taking her precious time out and consenting to be our speaker for the valedictory session. Madam, thank you for your illuminating and high-spirited speech that offers us an insight on the vision for libraries. We feel immense pleasure to thank Professor Zubair Minai, convener of the centenary celebrations of Jamia, who graced us with his presence and enlightened us on the journey of 100 years of Jamia. We wish to express our profound gratitude to Professor Farhad Bashir Khan, Department of Mass Communication, for his support and cooperation. Again, we would like to extend our sincere thanks to our session chairpersons and invited speakers for making excellent presentations and making this conference interesting and meaningful by adding depth to the deliberations. We have immensely benefited by your knowledge and presence. Our heart fills with lots of gratitude and respect for all our esteemed panelists for not only sparing their invaluable time for us to grace this occasion, but also for enlightening us with their commendable talk on the subject. Thanks all of you for enhancing our understanding pertaining to the subject, learning from home issues and challenges. Our heartfelt thanks to all the participants who have participated overwhelmingly from different parts of the country, making this conference a success. We have a deep sense of appreciation for all the participants who chose to be with us and attended the conference with great enthusiasm. I thank you all for being here with us. We would like to take this opportunity to convey our heartfelt thanks to Dr. Kazim Naqvi, Director and FTK staff, for extending the technical support at all times. We may also like to extend our thanks to Mr. Ahmad Azim for giving a media coverage of the conference. We are also very grateful to Dr. Tariq Ashraf, University Librarian, for giving us an opportunity to organize this event. We would like to thank the torchbearer of this event, our respected sir, for leading and inspiring us in working towards the goal of conducting this conference successfully. We are thankful to him for his huge support at all times. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to extend thanks from the core of my heart to all the members of the organizing committee. An event like this requires a planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues. I wish to acknowledge our technical team members, Mr. John Mead and Mr. Sandeep Sharma, for ensuring all possible technical support and for helping us webcast this conference live. Besides this, I am also thankful to our program committee members, Dr. Sufyan Ahmed, Deputy Librarian, Dr. Habibur Rahman, Assistant Librarian, Dr. Mema Faruqi, and our reporting committee members, Dr. S.M. Abbas, Mr. Kamal Ahmed, Dr. Shimail Hafiz, Dr. Zubair Mahmood, Ms. Farida, Mr. Tahir Parvez, Mr. Maniruddin Ansari, Ms. Nisha, Mr. Qasam Ali, for their unflinching support and coordination to make this conference a success. At the end, I sincerely apologize to those who directly or indirectly helped us, and I forgot unwillingly to include their names. With these warm words, we move to the end of today's program. Now I would request Dr. Tariq Ashraf to formally close the session.
Thank you so much, Kadia. Thank you, Sajia. Thank you all of my team members from Dr. Zakir Hussain Library. Thank you all my library staff members for working very hard for last 1 month and delivering the best possible conference in this difficult time. Thank you everyone for being with us for last 2 days.
What about Haiti? What about Haiti?
Virtuality, only virtuality.
Virtuality.
Hope all of you enjoyed the conference and it has added some value to your work and research. Your certificate will be reaching you by the end of this month. Thank you once again, everyone, including all my colleagues here at JMI. With these words and with very special thanks to Ms. Tara Grove. Once again, we would like to close this conference and look forward to meet you face to face in coming year. Thank you so much once again, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
महकशी का हासिल है, यहाँ पे तशना लबी महकशी का हासिल है। ये बज़्म दिल है यहाँ की सलाए आम नहीं, ये बज़्म दिल है यहाँ की सलाए आम नहीं। प्यारे शौक मेरा, प्यारे शौक मेरा, शहरे आरज़ू मेरा, शहरे आरज़ू मेरा, प्यारे शौक मेरा, शहरे आरज़ू मेरा। यहाँ पे शम्मे हिदायत है सिर्फ अपना ज़मीं, यहाँ पे शम्मे हिदायत है सिर्फ अपना ज़मीं। यहाँ पे किबलाए ईमान का गाए दिल है, यहाँ पे किबलाए ईमान का गाए दिल है। सफर है दीन यहाँ कुफ्र है क़याम यहाँ, सफर है दीन यहाँ कुफ्र है क़याम यहाँ। यहाँ पे राह रवी खुद हुसूल मंजिल है, यहाँ पे राह रवी खुद हुसूल मंजिल है। शनावारी का तकाज़ा है नौ बनो दूँगा, शनावारी का तकाज़ा है नौ बनो दूँगा। बनारे मौज में आसूदगी ये साहिल है, बनारे मौज में आसूदगी ये साहिल है। प्यारे शौक मेरा, प्यारे शौक मेरा, शहरे आरज़ू मेरा, शहरे आरज़ू मेरा, प्यारे शौक मेरा, शहरे आरज़ू मेरा, शहरे आरज़ू मेरा, शहरे आरज़ू मेरा।
Thank you. Thank you, Jay, so much. Thank you so much for being with us.